Reluctance to talk. This editorial examines why India refuses dialogue with Pakistan over its diminished global standing. The story of Pakistan-India ties in recent years revolves around India's rise and Pakistan's internal challenges and diminished global status. Revolves around means centers on. Diminished global status means reduced international influence. This sentence means that recent Pakistan-India relations are defined by India's growth and Pakistan's internal problems. The disparity in power and image of the two is at the center of India's unwillingness to talk to Pakistan. Disparity means a significant difference. This sentence means that the power and image gap between India and Pakistan drives India's reluctance to engage in dialogue. India has broken through the South Asian ceiling and acquired a place at the global high table. South Asian ceiling is a metaphor for the limitations in regional influence. Global high table means the elite group of influential nations. This sentence means that India has transcended regional limits and now holds significant global influence. U.S. patronage has no doubt helped in raising its economic weight, military potential, and diplomatic stature. Patronage means support or backing. This sentence means that U.S. support has boosted India's economy, military, and diplomacy. India now wants Pakistan to take cognizance of its status by being haughty, unapproachable, and reluctant to talk. Take cognizance of means acknowledge or recognize. Haughty means arrogant. This sentence means that India expects Pakistan to recognize its lower status by being aloof and avoiding dialogue. The trajectory of U.S.-India strategic and economic relations, embracing trade, security, defense, and technology cooperation, has been in the ascendant for the past 25 years. Trajectory means the path or trend. In the ascendant is an idiom meaning rising or increasing. This sentence means that U.S.-India ties have steadily grown stronger over the last 25 years. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent visit to Washington and his talks with Donald Trump made their own contribution to advancing the U.S.-India relationship further, especially with America's offer to sell F-35S, America's most advanced military aircraft. F-35S refer to the latest generation fighter jets. This sentence means that Modi's trip to Washington, coupled with the offer of advanced military hardware, bolstered U.S.-India ties. As The Economist put it, America is betting on India's inexorable rise. Inexorable means unstoppable. This sentence means that, according to The Economist, the U.S. is confident that India's rise is inevitable. India has come a long way from its embarrassing status as an unconvincing regional power to which its neighbor had the pretensions to speak as an unequal. Embarrassing status means a shameful, weak position. Pretensions means claims or ambitions. This sentence means that India has dramatically improved its standing, far surpassing the earlier era when Pakistan viewed it as merely a regional rival. India feels Pakistan is still living that illusion. This sentence means that India believes Pakistan continues to act as if it were still a powerful regional player. Most of Pakistan's strategic community keeps complaining that Washington is giving preferential treatment to India, as if the two relationships serve the same or equal purpose and were interchangeable. Preferential treatment means favoring one over another. This sentence means that Pakistan's strategic experts argue that the U.S. treats India and Pakistan differently, ignoring their distinct roles. The reality is that America's ties with India and Pakistan are totally different, serving different purposes. This sentence means that U.S. relations with India and Pakistan are independent and not directly comparable. Each relationship rose or declined independently, neither limited nor enhanced by the other. This sentence means that the fortunes of U.S.-India and U.S.-Pakistan relations develop separately. India hopes that the refusal of dialogue would force Pakistan to know its place rather than harbor pretensions of being its rival or competitor. Harbor pretensions means nurture unrealistic ambitions. This sentence means that India believes that by refusing to talk, it will force Pakistan to accept its subordinate status. Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar keeps calling Pakistan irrelevant, implying that India does not need Pakistan, which has lost its leverage due to the Afghanistan problem, erosion in its global standing, diminished influence in the Middle East, increased external dependence, and vulnerability to international pressure. Irrelevant means of no importance. This sentence means that Yashankar's comments reflect India's view that Pakistan is no longer significant in global affairs. This assessment by India no doubt figured in its calculation that its action on August 5, 2019, to rescind Kashmir's special constitutional status would not evoke a serious international response. Rescind means to revoke. This sentence means that India believed that by taking controversial action in Kashmir, it would not face major international backlash. It suits India that Pakistan remains under siege from its internal challenges. Under siege is an idiom meaning constantly under attack. This sentence means that India prefers Pakistan to remain weakened by its own internal problems. India thinks that by revoking its special status, it has made Kashmir an internal matter, thus removing it as a subject of a bilateral agenda with Pakistan and making the dispute a non-issue by depriving Pakistan of the opportunity to advance the cause internationally. Bilateral agenda means issues discussed between two countries. This sentence means that India's move on Kashmir was designed to isolate the dispute, thereby diminishing Pakistan's international leverage. Dialogue with Pakistan would reverse these gains, as Pakistan would focus on Kashmir at the talks. This sentence means that engaging in dialogue might force Pakistan to bring up Kashmir, which India wants to avoid. Dialogue would also attract global media coverage, which Pakistan would use to publicize the Kashmir situation. On this sentence means that talking with Pakistan could lead to increased international attention on Kashmir, undermining India's strategy. India feels a muted relationship would help it create new ground realities in Kashmir, which Kashmiris and Pakistan might come to accept sooner or later. This sentence means that India believes limited engagement will force a redefinition of the situation in Kashmir over time. The lack of dialogue also gives India the option to continue talking about terrorism to malign Pakistan and thus disaffect Washington towards Pakistan. Malign means to speak ill of. Disaffect means to alienate. This sentence means that by avoiding dialogue, India can continue to criticize Pakistan on terrorism, influencing U.S. perceptions. The terrorism issue gets highlighted in U.S.-India joint statements, including the latest one after Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent visit to the U.S. This sentence means that terrorism remains a central topic in U.S.-India communications, reinforcing India's strategic partnership. India's role in fighting terrorism, an interest America shares, also enhances India's value as a U.S. ally. Now, this sentence means that India's efforts against terrorism make it a more valuable partner to the U.S. India knows Islamabad is interested in the dialogue partly because it hopes it would open the way for economic ties with India that would benefit Pakistan's economy. This sentence means that Pakistan's desire for dialogue is motivated by its economic interests. India does not want that, and this is another reason for not talking. This sentence means that India deliberately avoids dialogue to prevent Pakistan from strengthening economically. Meanwhile, India is sidestepping Pakistan with its outreach to Iran and Afghanistan to create alternative transit corridors through Chabahar. Sidestepping is a phrasal verb meaning avoiding directly. Transit corridors means routes for transportation and trade. This sentence means that India is working with Iran and Afghanistan to establish trade routes independent of Pakistan. Finally, the Baloch insurgency and the TTP, their dynamics are domestic, but external support, evidently from India and the Afghan Taliban, has been critical to these outfits' viability. Baloch insurgency refers to armed rebellion in Balochistan. TTP stands for Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. This sentence means that while these conflicts are internal, external backing, apparently from India and the Afghan Taliban, helps sustain them. India cannot continue this support and have a dialogue with Pakistan at the same time. This sentence means that India finds it contradictory to support insurgents while engaging in dialogue with Pakistan. It suits India that Pakistan remains under siege from its internal challenges. This sentence means that India prefers Pakistan to continue facing its internal problems. For India, the loss of benefits of a normal relationship with Pakistan is insignificant compared with the gains of hostility. This sentence means that India values the advantages of a confrontational stance over any potential benefits of closer ties with Pakistan. There's no point, then, in Pakistan seeking a dialogue. This sentence means that from India's perspective, engaging in talks is futile. The fact is that whether the two countries have been talking or not has made little difference to their relations. This sentence means that dialogue has had minimal impact on overall Pakistan-India relations. Pakistan's primary challenges are domestic. This sentence means that Pakistan's main issues are internal. A strengthened Pakistan will make Yashankar rethink whether India with its present policies itself risks becoming irrelevant for Pakistan. This sentence means that if Pakistan improves, India may have to reconsider its dismissive stance. Only then will India engage with Pakistan seriously. This sentence means that India will only open meaningful dialogue if Pakistan proves to be a robust partner. The writer, a former ambassador, is adjunct professor at Georgetown University and visiting senior fellow at the National University of Singapore. This sentence means that the author, with extensive diplomatic and academic experience, provides these insights. Published in Dawn, March 9, 2025.